You are standing at your sink. It is evening. The supper dishes are piled in front of you. The cast iron still has the smell of fried chicken on it. The pot you used for gravy has a ring around the inside that dried while you were getting the children settled. The glasses have that cloudy film that never quite goes away no matter how many times you rinse them. You reach under the sink and pull out the bottle. The plastic is slick in your hand. It smells like something between a flower and a laboratory. You squeeze it. A bright blue drop falls into the water. The bubbles rise up fast and the smell fills the kitchen. You scrub, you rinse, you stack. And somewhere in the back of your mind there is a small voice, a quiet one. It says, "This does not feel right." It says, "My grandmother never had this bottle and her dishes were clean." It says, "What is in this exactly? And why does it cost this much? And why do I buy a new one every few weeks?" You do not have an answer for that voice. But I do. One bottle of name-brand dish soap costs you somewhere around $3. If your family is like most families, that bottle lasts 2, maybe 3 weeks. That is roughly 17 to 18 bottles a year. That is close to $50 a year on dish soap alone. Multiply that by 10 years and you have $500 spent on a blue liquid that was invented in a laboratory, that your grandmother never used, that your great-grandmother never used, that the women who washed dishes in this country for 200 years before you never once needed. My youngest daughter came to me a few years back, just starting her own household, and asked me what dish soap I used. I told her I would show her how to make it. She looked at me the way young people sometimes look at older ones, like she was not sure whether to believe me. I showed her anyway. She has not bought a bottle since. My mother never bought a bottle in her life. You do not have an answer for that voice, but I do. Her sink smelled like lemon, and the dishes shone in the lamplight, and there was not a single pump dispenser with a brand name anywhere in her kitchen. She made what she needed. She always had enough, and she never once worried about running out. That small voice in the back of your mind is not wrong. It is remembering something your hands have forgotten. I have never once in 40 years bought a commercial dish soap. Not once. My mother did not buy it. Her mother did not buy it. The women in our church community do not buy it. In Holmes County, this is not remarkable. It is simply how things are done. You make what you need from what is good and simple, and you waste nothing, because waste is a sin against the provision given to you. The answer is not complicated, and it is not far away. Every ingredient you need costs almost nothing, and you can find it at any grocery store or hardware store in your town. This is not new knowledge. This is old knowledge that got quietly pushed aside. Before I show you how to make it, I will be honest with you the whole way. This recipe does not do everything. If you have cast iron or a heavy pan with burnt-on grease from weeks of cooking baked deep into the surface, this will not cut through that alone. That kind of grease needs something more abrasive, baking soda paste or a good soaking. If you are in an area with very hard water, and many places are, you may notice a slight residue on your glasses. A small pinch of citric acid mixed in will fix that completely. This recipe does not go in a dishwashing machine. The foam it makes is meant for hand washing. Put it in a machine and you will have a foam problem on your kitchen floor. For regular plates, glasses, pots with normal cooking grease, plastic containers, steel utensils, wooden spoons, and even baby bottles, this does the job completely. Better than the bottle under your sink, and for about $2 a batch. You do not have an answer for that voice, but I do. Here is what you need. 1 cup of liquid castile soap, which is a plant oil-based soap that has been made for centuries. You will find it at any health store, grocery store, or dry goods shop. An unscented variety is best. A large bottle costs around $10 and will last you through many batches. 1 tablespoon of washing soda, which is sodium carbonate, not baking soda. Washing soda is stronger. It comes in a box and costs around $4 wherever dry goods or cleaning supplies are sold, and the box lasts a very long time. 1 tablespoon of vegetable glycerin, which keeps the soap from drying out your hands and gives the mixture a little body so it does not pour out too thin. A small bottle costs around $6 at any grocery or health store and lasts through dozens of batches. 1 cup of distilled water, or water you have boiled yourself and let cool completely, because tap water with minerals in it can react with the washing soda over time. And 10 to 15 drops of lemon essential oil, which is optional. But lemon is a natural degreaser and the smell is clean and honest, not a laboratory smell, a real smell. Now here is how you make it. Pour your cup of water into a bowl or pitcher first and add the tablespoon of washing soda directly to the water, stirring until it is fully dissolved. This matters. If you add washing soda straight to the soap, it can cause the mixture to seize up or go lumpy. Dissolve it in water first, and when it is dissolved, the water will look slightly cloudy, which is correct. Then pour your cup of castile soap into the same bowl slowly and gently. You do not have an answer for that voice, but I do. Do not shake it or stir it fast because castile soap foams easily and you want to combine everything without creating a mountain of bubbles you cannot work with. A slow pour and a slow gentle stir is right. Add your tablespoon of glycerin and stir gently again. Add your lemon drops if you're using them and stir one more time. Pour everything into a clean soap dispenser bottle. An old bottle with a pump works perfectly. If you do not have one, any jar with a tight lid will do, and you can pour a small amount into your hand when you need it. Before every use, turn the bottle gently upside down and back once or twice because the washing soda can settle to the bottom over time, and this keeps it even throughout. 1 to 2 pumps is enough for a full sink of dishes. The foam will not be as dramatic as the blue bottle you are used to, but that is not a problem. Foam does not clean. Soap cleans. The foam is just theatre. Store this at room temperature away from direct sun, and it keeps for 4 to 6 weeks with no trouble. Total cost for one full batch is about $1.60, sometimes less. Let me tell you why this works, because once you understand it, you will never go back. Soap is not magic, it is chemistry, and the chemistry is simple enough to explain at a kitchen table. Every soap molecule has 2 ends. One end loves water, the other end loves oil and grease. When you put soap into your wash water, those molecules go straight to work. The oil-loving end grabs onto the grease on your plate. The water-loving end pulls toward the rinse water. The grease gets surrounded on all sides and lifted away. This is called surfactant action, and it is the same process whether you are using a bottle from the store or soap your great-grandmother made from lard and wood ash. The USDA has recognized plant-based castile soap as safe for food-grade surfaces. This is not folk medicine. It is chemistry that has been used and verified. Castile soap takes its name from the Castile region of Spain, where olive oil soap was made as far back as the 11th century. The recipe traveled across Europe and came to America with the settlers. The women in Holmes County did not invent this. They simply never stopped using it. Now I want to talk honestly about something. There is an industry that does not want you to know this recipe. The dish soap market in this country brings in billions of dollars every year. The companies behind it are not small operations, and dish soap is one of their most reliable products because you use it up and you buy it again every single week, reliably, forever. Before the 1950s, most households made their own cleaning products or used simple ingredients the way my people always have. Then these companies began marketing convenience. They sold the idea that homemade was inferior, that the old ways were primitive, that modern chemistry had improved upon everything your grandmother knew. They designed their products to run out. One bottle for dishes, a different bottle for grease, another for the stove. One product, one problem, by design. Your grandmother had 1 bar of soap and a box of washing soda, and she cleaned her whole kitchen with it. They added fragrance not because clean things need to smell like flowers or mountains or fresh rain, but because fragrance signals clean to a modern nose that has forgotten what real clean smells like. Real clean has almost no smell at all. They put pictures of baby ducks on the bottle and showed wildlife being rescued, implying their product was gentle and natural, while the ingredient list told a different story. There is no money in telling you what I am telling you. That is exactly why I am telling you. My people have known for 150 years that clean does not require a brand name. The women who built this country before these companies existed kept immaculate homes with simple ingredients. They were not doing it wrong. They were doing it right. And the knowledge did not disappear. It just got quietly crowded out. A woman wrote to me last month and said her mother had used something like this her whole life and she had forgotten about it completely until she tried it herself and said the dishes came out cleaner than they had in years. A man wrote to say his wife had sensitive skin and the store soap was hard on her hands, and after 1 week of using this batch, she said her hands were better. In our community, this kind of letter is what we call neighbourly. You are reaching through a long distance and sitting at each other's table. Here is what I want you to do this week. Check what you already have. Look in your pantry for washing soda and under your sink for any Castile soap you may already own. You may be closer to this than you think. If you need to, pick up the 3 main ingredients at any grocery or dry goods store. Castile soap, washing soda, glycerin. You are spending less than $5 and what you buy will last you through many batches. Then set aside 10 to 15 minutes one afternoon and mix your first batch. The mixing itself takes less than 5 minutes. When you use it the first time, notice the dishes. Notice your hands after. Notice that the sink does not smell like a perfume counter. That moment when you realize the dishes are clean and your hands are fine and you spent almost nothing, that is when you understand what my mother understood her whole life. If your grandmother or your mother ever made their own cleaning soap, I want to hear about it. Tell me what you remember, even small details, the smell of it, the color of it, the bottle or jar they kept it in. And if you try this recipe, come back and tell me how it went. These old methods deserve to be remembered. Every story you share keeps them alive a little longer. Next time I want to show you what I use on my stone floor and my wood surfaces, a single mixture that costs almost nothing and that I have used in this house for 30 years without a single problem. Until then, waste nothing. And remember, the women who built this country with their hands knew things we are only just starting to remember.